as we patiently wait for Mike to return. Hi guys. So we're back, and Mike is. Oh, he's back. Okay.
I was looking for my Ghost House hat, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah. So as you guys can tell by the title, we are doing Ghost this week. Finally. And Mike finally watched it. So yeah. We're gonna try to stay on track tonight, and because I do have an event I have to do tonight. But yeah, so as y'all can tell by our little thingamabobs, so we're gonna just dive right into it. First off, what did y'all think of the production? Y'all see why I love it so much?
Oh yes.
Although, firstly, Liz, before we start, what happened to your finger?
You had to bring it. Okay, so yes, I hurt my finger. I'm taking the scenic class for school, and we had this beautiful metal bed that had roses and flowers and vines all over it for midsummer that we did in this past spring, and we were taking it apart. And so the zip ties were a little too tight, and needless to say, I sliced open my finger with a box cutter. It was not fun. I didn't notice it was bleeding until my friend freaked out. Hi, Stella. My dog just walked in. So yeah, I had to go to work with like twice the amount of gauze. It was like that thick with orange tape on it. It was like stage tape. Because they didn't have the proper size Band-Aid. So yeah, it's pretty much good now, but yeah, it wasn't fun. And then it opened back up at work, so that I had to re-tape it and all that. And then it opened up when I got home, and so yeah. Anyway, back to my earlier question, what do you all think of the production as I look something up?
Like, the visual effects and the music in this were amazing. You look at it all and you think, how on earth did they do all that?
Yeah. So I'm gonna attempt to do be a little fancy here, because I feel like at the time for how long is this? I'm gonna show y'all the trailer for Ghost, so y'all can have a good idea of what we're talking about and see how amazing this show really is. And the length of this stream should balance out the copyright thing. So it's like 2 minutes, not that long. So I'm gonna attempt to be a little fancy tonight and have maybe that go like that, have it all queued up so I can come back to you guys like here, and gonna wait for some inception going on right now. There we go. So then I'm gonna pull that up, hide. So I'm only gonna show a little piece of this, so that way, so yeah. I can feel you right beside me, not dreaming, reawaken, won't give up, won't ever let you down. I'm out of here, I'm making my transition out of here. If I corrected my offender, it's crystal clear. One in my position, one in my reservation, my permanent vacation. Here right now. Right now is when I truly know that we were meant to be. As long as we stay together, we'll just keep getting better.
and saved me and broken my dreams. I am
So yeah, that was. I'm gonna turn this off now if I can figure out how to get back to it. So boop. Okay. So hey, Craig. So yeah, that is the trailer for Ghost to kind of show y'all what we're doing this week. The one that we watched, the guy who played. Oh my god, I just forgot his name. Oh my gosh, not Sam, not Molly, the other guy.
Carl.
Thank you, Carl. The guy who played Carl obviously was not the same guy in the original, but the one we have had Casey in it, and that's all. That's honestly all I cared about. But yeah, so shut up, Mike. Shut up. So
Real crush.
right into it. I got a whole bunch of notes here. So I'm gonna go right in. So for those who do not know, this is the musical, not the movie. I honestly have never seen the movie, never even heard of Ghost before I heard about this musical. And so basically what the synopsis is of Ghost is that these lovely couple, who I guess you can say have true love, move to New York and find their first apartment and blah, blah, blah. And then one of them like, Molly's like, I want to marry you, who's played by Casey Levi. And Sam, who I can't remember his name, he's like, okay, well, I can't say I love you, but blah, 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 blah. And Sam gets shot. And the entire show is basically him getting Molly, trying to get Molly to find out the real reason why he died, and this whole plot to get all this money that Sam has in his account. So it's honestly a really good show. Honestly, I think Aisha from Newsies would be a beautiful Oda Mae Brown. That's just me. I think she would be amazing in that role. So if I ever have a chance to work on Ghost and have it revive, I am going to be like, Aisha, come play Oda Mae Brown, because I think you'd be really good at it. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna start with the Overturn. See, I need to see the movie. I really, after seeing the musical, I do want to see the movie. But the iconic party scene is in the musical. I really love that they included that. So that's the only part of Ghost.
Seriously, if they did not have that in there, people would be floored if that scene wasn't in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people would go and see it.
Be like, no pottery scene, forget it.
Well, yeah, but yeah. So the Overturn is obviously the opening number. Like, hi, Lena. I love your name. I love the name Lena.
And it's Lena's birthday today, fair warning.
Happy birthday, Lena!
Happy birthday, Lena!
Happy if you don't mind me asking, how old are you gonna be, Lena? But yeah, so gonna go. What's the first song that y'all want to start off with?
You pick.
Okay, I guess we'll go so the Overturn. How did you guys feel? Hey, happy 33rd birthday, Lena. How did you guys feel about the Overturn? Overture, my bad. I'm a theater major. I'm just mispronouncing that. Okay. I mean, the songs that I have are like the ones that like stick with the plot story. The Three Little Words I like is it's a cute little number, and like it points out that Sam, he doesn't say I love you, he just says ditto, which I think is kind of cute. Their own little thing, you know. I don't know why Molly has such a problem with that. Mike, what are you doing?
Right. Okay, some people are better expressing their love in other ways than saying it, but like most girls, you want to actually hear it.
Every once
So
in
I-
a while, like, even if it's like once a month or once a year, as long as we hear it. But well, we don't know. What? How about you? What about Mike? What's your?
Well, I mean, the thing with it is like, he brings up a good point. It's not necessarily about you saying it. Sometimes it's through your actions,
Mm-hmm.
or like the way you look at someone.
Like the way you look at Steph.
Which,
The way he was
He's
moving
right
his
there.
hand, I'm like, he's rubbing her back. I know it.
Yes, they're like a perfect
I'm giving her
example.
a back scratch.
They're a perfect example of Sam and Molly. Except both of them are alive and in one of them, and yeah, anyway. So, Sam's murder, not really, it doesn't really have any lyrics, but okay.
He gets shot.
Yeah, the one thing I love about this production is how they use lighting to in the show. Hey, he's a ghost now. He's like, he has a white floodlight on him,
Yeah.
flood on him, and everyone else is in color. So like they have normal light, but he has a pure white one to show that he's a ghost. And I really love how they did that. And also, when you watch the production, did you notice everybody has like dark colored hair and Molly's the only one who has blonde hair? But you didn't notice that, huh?
I'm just like now I'm just thinking about I never noticed that because I'm so
Yeah.
used to thinking about Demi Moore with her short black hair and everything, you know.
Yep, Molly's the only one on stage that has blonde hair, which suits Casey because she had blonde hair at the time.
But that's just to help you find her on stage.
Yeah, but it also is to make her stand out, so you know that hey, the story's kind of revolving around her. But "Suspend My Disbelief" is one of my favorite songs because, I mean, it's not every day you find your boyfriend dies and not that he's a ghost. And you can tell she obviously wants to believe. She wants to be like, hey, Sam's still here, but she doesn't know how to.
Because
Right?
I mean that would be kind of hard to imagine some psychic voodoo priest lady comes to you and be like, oh yeah, your boyfriend's still here and he was murdered and you're in danger.
Yeah.
Then, of course, everyone has a hard time believing Molly because the voodoo lady, she's had a long case of like, she has a long history of like racketeering and fraud and.
May Brown, yeah.
Because that's something I've always been curious about. So, okay, so if you listen to the music, it says in there that it runs in her family, but for whatever reason, she didn't get it, and
Until
she didn't inherit it until she met Sam.
so I think how that works. I think they're called mediums. Is people who can talk to the dead. I know clairvoyants can see the future, and so I think they're called mediums. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not entirely sure that's what they're called, but I think how it works is like they don't really choose when they accept the gift. I think it happens when a soul is in need of help, is when you get it, and so all these other souls will just like, I'm here, I'm just chilling. But Sam needed help, so I think that's why she was able to hear him all of a sudden, is because he genuinely needed to help Molly, and so I think that's how it worked.
And obviously, my favorite song is "With You," and it's such a touching and moving song. And her missing Sam, but her also having to move on, and just a lot of stuff. Grief is going through her. She's having to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of stuff is going on through her mind right now.
Yeah, like I can't imagine, because I've never really lost anyone that I'm really close to. I mean, like I lost my nana, my great nana, I guess. My grandpa's mother, who I called her great nana, and I had memories of her, but I wasn't as upset because I didn't see her as often. But I mean, yeah, I think we all would give anything to have that like one last moment with someone, like how Molly got with Sam. So I like that. Oh, that song just makes me cry. That song makes me bawl my eyes out every time. Like I can't listen to it without tearing up. So when I'm at work and that song comes on, I'm like, nope, skipping it. Which usually
Because I kept on thinking about like my grandma and grandpa because I was very close to them, and this song makes me think of them.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole mashup between Suspend My Disbelief, I Had a Life. I love how that whole number played out. And how and also the conveyor belt on the stage I thought was very creative on how to show that they're walking. Kind of like how they use with Hamilton, but it's not a circle, it's actually just, but they also use it to move the desks in and out and all of that. So, Michelle, do you need a minute?
I'll be fine. I just gotta wipe my eyes.
But the whole technical aspect of this production was just amazing, and I'm surprised it didn't last longer on Broadway. I hate that my little bandage just stands out so much on screen. Mike, what are you doing?
Nothing. It's on my neck.
I believe that's the one that closes Act 1. And so I mean I don't know. I just love the mix between and then oh gosh, Carlos Son was like the more song a little mixed into it, but by the end you can't tell who's saying what. All I can hear is Sam saying I had the life. Like I can't understand what Molly's saying, I can't understand what Carl's saying. I think that's the only downside of having so many songs mashed up into one. But
how come they do that? How come they go rain/hold on and stuff like that?
I think it's because they have like each character has their own song. So so I Had a Life is Sam's solo. And it's like him responding to Molly singing Suspend My Disbelief, like I want to believe in blah blah blah. And I mean I think that's all I can think of why they would do that. But like Rain and Hold On,
like singing two songs at the same time in a way.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm okay with two songs, but the thing is pushing it because you can't really focus in on one voice. Like at least with two songs, you can. Like I focus in on Casey's voice because her voice is more. It's more. What's the word I'm looking for? I can identify it more. Like it's more familiar to me than Sam's voice. So
yeah, because like you've listened to so many musicals with Casey's voice in it, and like so many productions like of her in Wicked, her in Frozen, her in Ghost. Yeah, you identify her voice above anyone else because you're more familiar with her.
I would do anything to get a copy of her in Rent. She played Maureen Johnson. I want that copy so bad. If anybody has it, I will literally love you to the day I die. But anyway, so the Act 2, the song I love in Act 2 is Rain and Hold On. Like, which is the first song you hear in the trailer that we watched when she's walking through the rain. And I love Oda Mae Brown's song, like, Do You Believe? Are You a Believer? Because she's like, ooh, witchcraft. Not really witchcraft. It's not witchcraft at all. I don't know why I just did that. But I love that she's like, oh, I don't want anything to do with this. And I love his little that's my friend texting me. I love what? Oh, thank you, Lena. So I always get so excited when I get a new subscriber. Make sure to smash. Oh, thank you. I love you, Lena. You get a little heart for that. Heart. That's a janky heart because my finger, but you know, it's the sentiment that matters. But yeah, I mean, just this whole. I just want to know how they did all the technical stuff, like the projectors and the lights, and
like with Sam, like when he was practicing, you know, to move things or to go through doors and everything. You're just like you're amazed by all that, and you want to know how on earth did they do this.
You know what I think? When Sam's in the apartment and he walks through the door for the first time. I wonder what that reminded me of the wall at platform 9 3/4 in Universal. How like when you look at a certain angle, it looks like you're going through the wall. That's what it reminded me of. And so if you can figure out how they do that, Lena. So Lena's just making me so happy right now.
Well, I think with the effect in Platform 9 3/4, I think it's a projection that's projected onto a pane of glass. So that way it kind of shines on and through the glass. And it's also about the lighting in the actual tunnel. So that way it's very bright outside the tunnel, but when you walk in it, it's very dark. So that way you kind of disappear from view.
Sorry, someone in my school group is texting me. But yeah, I think Mike, you actually might have a point there. But the train, I love the projection with the train, like how they use like to make it look like it's moving.
Yeah, because like they bring down those LED lights in front of the actual. They bring down those LED lights in front of the backdrops. So that way, the LED lights, the way they move, it also looks like the outside of the train, as if you're looking into it.
Yeah, I love the whole thing of it. And also with Rain and Hold On, we find out, and sorry if y'all don't want to hear this, but this is a spoiler warning. We like every time we do the show, we discuss it in detail. So Rain and Hold On, this is when we find out that Carl is one that set up Sam's accidental murder, and which I thought was kind of cold-hearted, and he deserved to go to hell for that.
Okay, so the song Life Turned on a Dime, I love that song. It's such a good song. But it's sung by the bad guy. It's sung by the bad guy.
He got the nerve to try and make a move on Molly? Dude, she just lost her boyfriend, okay? Give her some time. I mean, I'm all for you trying to make her feel better and all that, but don't be trying to go and make a move on her. So, what up with that? Carl, man, come on, get your crap together. But yeah, so I think his name
just wanted more and more and more.
Yes, he did. Which I just, man, Carl. If he had been honest with Sam and been like, "Yo, I'm in a little bit of a bind here," I'm sure he would have helped him out. Yeah, I'm doing my stream with my friends, and then I have to go to my event at school. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's like whenever we go live, I have to let my brother know beforehand so he doesn't disturb, because I don't know why whenever I do a live stream, he always wants to disturb me. I'm like, I have to let him know, just back off.
Say hi.
Hi, Steph.
Sorry about that. But yeah, what did you say, Michelle?
I was just saying how whenever we end up doing a live stream, I have to tell my brother to not disturb and everything, because how you were getting interrupted. So
yeah. But yeah, no. What you were saying about Life Turned on a Dime? I think that song, like, if you actually listen to it, it actually speaks the truth that like anything can happen in life. You don't know when it's your last time to. You don't know when it's gonna be your time. So I guess that's where the whole YOLO thing came in. Like you only live one time.
He's trying to help her, but then again, he's trying to make a move on her.
This is my Molly right here.
Oh.
That would make more sense if I knew what he was talking about.
Molly's the main female lead.
Oh, okay.
I'll say, have you seen the Patrick Swayze movie? At least the movie?
I literally just said I've never seen it, and you didn't jump on me.
Well, it's not by that too.
Oh my gosh, this person. Okay, sorry, this person has no idea what we're doing in our project, so I'm literally having to tell her everything. But yeah, so I love the overall message with Ghost is that like You just gotta. And I'm the worst person to be saying this because I don't take chances on anything, especially when it comes to love. I'm too much of a coward to say anything. I can't even ask the girl I have a crush out. What? I can't even ask the girl I have a crush on out on a simple date because I'm too much of a coward. Because let's just say my self-esteem and my confidence is low. Like I have no confidence in myself whatsoever.
Haven't you done it a few times this year, though?
What?
I mean, you've done it recently.
I did it once, and it didn't. Yeah, it didn't go so well.
You're like Alexander Hamilton. You're taking your shot.
And I wasted it.
You're not throwing away your shot, but sometimes it bites you in the butt.
Yeah, I'm not wasting my I've wasted my shot one too many times. So life
I
does
don't like
happen.
wasting my time, and the guys, I don't want to waste their time either. You're either what I'm looking for or not.
Well, see, I don't think I have room to be picky. But I'm not picky. I'm just like, you know what? If you can accept me and my flaws, we good. But yeah, you don't ever know when you're like, I could get hit by a bus on my way to school tonight, and that's gonna be like, I mean, you just gotta think like, have I done enough in my life where I'm okay? I'm like, you know what? It happens to happen. Like with COVID right now, if I catch it, I catch it, and I don't really care at this point. If I'm meant to have it or if I'm meant to die because of it, then it's gonna happen whether I want it to or not. So, yeah, there's not really much you can do when it comes to stuff like that.
Very true.
You never know when you're gonna go.
Exactamundo. But yeah, anyway, anyway, so back to the show. Sam goes back to the train station and he's like, yo, I didn't catch the ghost who died on the train. I didn't catch his name. Yeah? I'll get it before I leave.
Parents, gotta love them.
I do. I love my parents, and I'm very grateful for them. It's probably my package for school, my books for school.
And that's the song Focus, where he's basically,
he's
going
like, you want to
back.
move something? Then move it. And that's literally all.
My train.
That's literally how the song starts. And he says, you want to move something? Then something. I don't know. That's the only line of this song that I remember. But yeah, so and he's like, and he has motivation now because he's like, oh, Carl's out for my girl, and I gotta protect her, and yeah. So anyway,
and then we go into talking about a miracle where
she's benefiting from that gift she has now. Odae Brown is like talking to people left and right, being like, I sense this and I sense that.
Like she's got a pimp talking to her. She's got a bunch of other ghosts talking to her.
You making banking a medium. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if that's really what they're called. If I'm wrong, please tell me.
There's like a lot of names for it, but like there's psychic, medium.
Is it psychic? I was about to say, is it psychic? It's psychic medium. I know clairvoyants see the future. I know that. So clairvoyants are out of. Oh my god.
So they have psychic. It's psychic. I don't say it. Blah blah blah.
I don't say blah blah blah.
Blah blah.
I only say it when I say I don't say it.
Okay, something me and my brother do is all either him or I will go blah blah blah, and then the other person will say, I don't say it blah 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 blah. I don't say it blah 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 blah. It was you. Because that's from
you.
That was from the second movie, so that's a thing me and my brother do sometimes. Anyways,
Well, the thing with Stephanie is she's not the biggest Adam Sandler fan, so I'm not sure how she feels about Hotel Transylvania.
I mean, it could use some work, but the star power that they got wasn't bad.
Although honestly, it was a lot of the people from Grown Ups and stuff.
Yeah. Adam Sandler's not my favorite. I feel like if he did a bit more serious roles and a bit less fart joke comedy, I feel like I could like him a bit more, but I'm a lot less of a fart joke comedy kind of gal.
yeah, there's all different kinds of comedy. Anyways, so there is psychics and mediums, and honestly, I don't really know the difference between them. I never have gone to one, so I wouldn't know. Other than seeing like the psychics on TV.
There's clairvoyancy, clairaudience, and a third one. Clairvoyancy is being able to see the future or see spirits. Clairaudience is being able to hear spirits. And then there's like one that's knowledge of the future or something like that.
So which one was hear the spirits?
Clairaudience.
Okay, so that's what the Whoopi Goldberg character is.
No, her name is Oda Mae Brown. But I feel like she had like the funnest songs in this entire production. She had "I'm Out of Here," and then she had talking about like she just had so many fun. I love "I'm Out of Here."
Oh yeah, and when she's like, oh, I got all this money. I am gonna be living rich. Oh, and then she's like, I'm gonna have so much fun, and then she has to give it all to a nun.
Yeah, and then the nun just passed it out. I laughed at that. She's like, and I mean, what would you do if you got like how much was it? Like $1 million? $5 million, I think. I don't know. I don't know. But like, I mean, what would you do?
Like maybe. Well,
I'd pay off I paid for the rest of my college. That's what I would do.
Sure. With all that money, I'd pay off my debt. I'd go back to school and finish my degree. Buy myself a house. Buy a house for my mom. Pay off my car.
I'd buy a Volkswagen bus. I wouldn't even need a house. I would just live out of a Volkswagen bus.
I get a car.
Not if you're living with me, you know.
Oh. See, I wouldn't need to buy a house because I'd be living with Mike. So I could still just get a Volkswagen bus and tour the country.
With me?
Of course. Who else would I take to the Grand Canyon?
Ran out of time and push me in.
Why would I do that? That's too obvious.
To see how fast I would fall?
That's too obvious.
Anyway, Sam goes back to her and he's like, "Hey, you need to," and then he tells her to say all these weird things, like tell her about the fish in Montego Bay, tell her about the underwear that has her name stitched into it. I'm like, oh my God. Oda Mae Brown, she's just so funny. She was like, man, I don't want to say that. It's just really funny.
But in all fairness, like Sam couldn't come up with better things that would mean something to Molly.
I mean, the starfish on Montego Bay, that was a good one because no one else, in the photo he took in Reno or something like that, those were good. Man, you did not need to mention the underwear, okay? You didn't need to mention that. It's gonna make Oda Mae Brown.
Exactly. He could have mentioned another memory or something else.
Yeah, but like I guess it was so specific that
and he's just
and I
like,
guess technically since they were sleeping together, romantically of course.
Yeah, because
he would be the only one who would know about the underwear.
Yeah, but I mean you couldn't tell her like, oh. But then we need to back up to after Life Turns on a Dime, Molly does the iconic potty scene. and Sam's behind her, and Casey's like, just like falls asleep, and then she gets.
Like, I wonder if she's actually working with pottery or.
Oh, she did. No, actually, I looked that up. Her and yeah, she had to. Actually, I have it written down here. She actually took professional pottery lessons for that one scene. So they had somebody who knows how to make pottery to show her how to do it, so that way it looked real. And it's hard. Pottery is hard. Doing it on that little turntable thing, it is hard.
Because like if I swear if they didn't have that scene in there, it'd be like, what? Excuse me? No, go back and fix this. Plus, okay, in the movie, you know, she was wearing I think a different outfit and everything, but it's kind of like my outfit right now, kind of like wearing a Sam shirt.
That's why you. I was wondering why you wore that. I could be wearing my gray tank top and whatnot, whatever. But yeah.
No, it's because of the pottery scene. I was like, well, it's kind of representative of that scene, so I'm gonna wear this.
See, I would love that would happen to me. I'd just be like, you know what? That's the way to my heart, man. Anyway.
I think we all agree with that.
Granted, somebody who's never seen Ghost before.
Well, you're gonna have to watch after this.
Nah, if it's not free, I'm not paying for it, man.
Okay, when it is free, then you can watch it.
Fine, I'll watch it. But yeah, so we need to talk about Unchained Melody because obviously that's Mike's favorite.
Honestly, that was just the one I picked.
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, Mike, I'm so disappointed. At least you watched it. I'm proud that you at least watched it.
Thank you.
Because me and Liz picked the two best songs and everything. So
I just picked my favorite.
So Mike was like, "Well, what's left?" So I just Unchained was like one of the ones I was like debating, like, okay, which song should I pick? So
which one were you gonna pick? Which one were you thinking about picking?
I thought about picking Nothing Stops Tomorrow, With You, Rain, Hold On, I Can't Breathe, Unchained Melody, you know. Those were all the ones that I was like debating, and finally, like after listening to the songs over and over and over again, I was just like, no, I'm gonna go With You. You know, that one really, really speaks to me. So then Mike was like, well, what else is left? What can I pick? So I was like, I'll pick the Unchained Melody. I was like, that's just a suggestion that you can pick that. So that's why he picked that.
Yeah.
So I had to pick one.
I would do anything to be able to just to have it. So somebody sit me down and be like, this is how we did this, and this, because y'all like this. I wish y'all could see this show. It is beautiful. So have you seen it in person or no? Yes, it was my very first one. I don't have very many memories of it. I barely remember it. I was so young. I can't even remember who I went to see it with.
Did you see it with the original cast?
Yeah, that was my first exposure to Casey. Because Casey was Elphaba in over in the West End, West Country, West Theater, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't able to see her in Wicked. But I don't know. I just saw it and I was like, it's weird. It was weird because I've never seen a musical before, a Broadway show before, and it was like unlike anything. I remember trying to actually think back. I remember I remember Suspend Your Disbelief. I remember I remember. I remember. I'm out of here. That was a number that I truly remember. Cause like it was just I remember bits and pieces of it. And I didn't know about the stage door, so we left right after the production. So I didn't. I bet you I could have met Casey. But then but when I did it, when I had a one-on-one, I told her that Ghost was my first musical, and that was my first exposure to musical theater, and it was the first time I ever saw her. And I was like, and that's when I was like, you know what? I'm a fan of hers, and like I've been following her career ever since. And then I researched and found out she was in Rent before she joined the union. So I did my research on her, and that's how I am. But from what I can remember, it is, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I hope and I pray one day it comes back to Broadway. If I have a say in it, I will make sure it comes back to Broadway. Broadway once it opens back up.
One way or another, this will get back on Broadway.
Yeah. So if it does, I want to ask Aisha to be like, hey, do you want to come play Oda Mae Brown? I think you'd be really good. I want to be the stage manager for this production. But yeah, it was unlike any production I've ever seen. And I know my parents didn't go with me. I don't know. I can't remember, but whatever. Moving on. But yeah, so
that was kind of your moment of like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be involved.
Funny story. Actually, no, and a lot of people at school give me some crap for this because like I can't believe you're making your whole life career decision on one stinking show. I went before I went down to Disney. I wanted to go to school for film and computer and imaging and stuff like that. It wasn't actually until I saw Frozen on Broadway, when I saw the projections and all the effects they were doing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. And when I came home, I started watching all the behind the scenes footage and all that. And I was like, you know what? I want to, you know, I remember texting my mom one day, I was like, hey, I want to change, when I was at school, I was like, hey, I want to change my major. And she's like, what do you want to change it to? I was like, I want to change it to technical theater. So because of Frozen on Broadway, I was like, you know what? I want to change it to this. I want to do this for a career. I don't want to be doing film. I want to be doing Broadway. And then I've stuck with that ever since because it's more hands-on, I guess you could say. And there's just something about it that I absolutely love. And that's why I decided to major in theater because of Frozen on Broadway, not because of Ghost. But like thinking back, if I had actually thought about it, Ghost probably would have made it. So, but I was young, so I didn't really understand what was going on. So
yeah, like my time in theater was really fun, you know, high school, and I did like two plays. Two plays when I was in elementary school. And
quiet, Mike, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You're just being really quiet. Yeah, so like I said, this stream's gonna be a little shorter than usual. So
but I like going back and forth between theater and movies, you know. I think I would like to do something in the movie business, something, you know.
I feel like once I get the handle on theater, I feel like I could easily do film because I know enough about film. So I feel like if you can do one, you can do the other. But I think it's easier to go from theater to film than film to theater because theater you're good with working with practical, hands-on stuff. And when it comes to film, you have just we can do that with the computer. Whereas with like with blood, like CGI blood, and in theater they'll usually use squibs. They really want blood to show, which is like a little plaque of blood of you stab it with a sword, and it looks like it's real blood. It looks more authentic than CGI blood, and so stuff like that can come in handy in film. Whereas you can't CGI blood or fireworks and stuff like that. You need to actually be able to do it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's interesting when they have a musical and they transfer it into a movie or vice versa. It's interesting when you see it the original way and then you think, how will it translate to a different a medium?
Yeah, that's why I'm like so worried about them making Wicked into a movie because I don't know how they're gonna transfer it.
Yeah, I
So-
heard I heard they're gonna make the movie Dear Evan Hansen. That's something I heard.
That one should be easy to do though, because it doesn't really have a lot of effects in it. Like, but the casting with Wicked and Dear Evan Hansen, like that is gonna be crucial, whether it's gonna make or break it. And so it's hard to take a movie and turn it into a Ghost, for example. It's extremely hard to do that, and I think they did it very successfully. Hamilton, I guess it was easier just to record an HD version of it, which is the Hamilton film we got. And I think that it's a tricky thing to do. And so taking a Broadway show and putting it into a movie, a lot of people want Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth to come back and play the roles. They can't. Idina Menzel can't hit those notes anymore. And Kristen Chenoweth, she had a lot of work done, so she doesn't look like her young self. Idina Menzel could probably pass as Elphaba because she looks like she hasn't aged at all. And so that's why. And also, not many musicals are based off a book too. So not only Wicked is based off a book. So when they make the movie, they have a musical and they have a book, and so they have to determine which one they're gonna write about. And so I think
now with Hamilton, I can't see them taking that musical and making it into a movie, because in movies they're more like realistic in a way.
Well, they technically did. That's the Hamill film that they recorded. That's technically a movie, I would say.
It's a Broadway movie.
They'll do it one day. They'll do it one day. But hopefully they'll do it correctly. So with Rent, a lot of people hated the movie Rent. I personally loved it. I think the fact that they got the entire, like a majority of the original cast, the only two people they weren't able to get back was Joanne, the original woman who played Joanne. So they cast Tracy, who I think did a fabulous job. But and then it was somebody else, I can't remember, but the fact that they got a majority of the original cast back for the movie, I think that should count for something.
Yeah, like that was one of the opportunities where it's like, okay, you better have the original cast in this movie because they're perfect. They will match perfectly.
No, they were going to.
For it to be realistic.
No, I think that's I mentioned this when we did Rent back about a month ago. They were originally going to cast a whole new cast for the movie, but when they saw the original cast and like, hey guys, what's up? Like, they were amazed that they looked the same they did when they first performed Rent in theater, and they're like, you know what? Let's just recast them, and so that's what they ended up doing. It was Mimi. That's who the other person that joined the cast was, Mimi. So yeah, that's what it was. That's what it ended up being. That's how it ended up being, and so it's just turning the Broadway show into a movie. It's a tricky thing. Mike, what are you doing?
What?
What are you doing, man?
No, I'm just listening, pretty much.
Yeah, it sounds like y'all moving some furniture. Sorry, I can't keep a straight face and say that. But yeah, so I mean, other than like the basic songs that we just covered, I don't really know what else to say about Ghost. That is, if it comes back and you have a chance to see it, please see it, and please take me with you, because I would love to be able to see that production. Or even if it goes on tour, I think it would do good on tour. Maybe not on Broadway, maybe like on a local theater, but I think it would be better on tour. But yeah, it's a beautiful beautiful musical that like basically says to live to your fullest, because you don't know when it's gonna be your time. And I think, and honestly, if you actually think about that, that's kind of a scary thought. But that's how life is, and so just gotta go for it. Yeah. You guys have anything? This was actually a lot shorter than I thought it was gonna be. But do you guys have anything else to say about the musical?
I love, like you already know, obviously, that I love the With You song, but I love the You With You duet version even better.
Mhm.
Like that's basically when they finally get to say "I love you," or Sam gets to say "I love you," and Mom
Yeah.
says "Ditto."
Yeah, like they just and also I also loved how they made Carl go to hell, basically, because Carl gets shot and obviously fighting over the gun because all he wanted was the money. And if he had just told Sam, like, hey, I'm in a bind right now, I need some money, Sam, I guarantee you would have helped him out because that's what friends do, especially if you're in a life or death situation that Carl was in. I'm sure Sam would have helped him out either way. But yeah, so I think Carl got what was coming to him. So next time when y'all get involved with drug dealers and you owe them like $500 million, just talk to your rich friend or go to the police and tell them, hey, I'm in my life's in danger and this and this and this, and rat them out or do whatever, because they'll put you in protective services, even though they would probably move you or like witness protection. I think it is. I don't know how that whole thing works, but they will, like, if it means taking down a huge drug ring or something, I guarantee you the police would protect you. But yeah, just don't do something stupid like trying to go get your friend killed. Don't do that, because then your life you're gonna be living a life like Ghost. So, I mean, it's a good musical, and the music. Oh my gosh, the music is amazing. Granted that none of this music, I think, except for Unchained Melody, is in the original movie. Like the original movie isn't a musical, I think, right? Correct?
No, it's not a musical.
Okay, so yeah, but I think, granted, I've never seen the movie, and from what I've seen of the trailer of the movie, I think they did a good job. I mean, Michelle's really the only one who can tell me that, because I didn't see the movie.
I mean, Patrick Swayze.
Again, I guess I would care more about Demi Moore, but that's just me. But yeah, so Mike, do you have any last thoughts?
None from me, really.
I guess
just
not.
that the entire show with the heart and the lyrics in particular are very good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we haven't really discussed what show we're doing in 2 weeks, because remember I said last week we were going to be doing this every other week now. So we don't. Did we talk about what show we were doing next week? No, not next week. The week after.
Dear Evan
Wasn't it
Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen?
No, I said we were going to wait for Dear Evan Hansen because Tyler got grounded.
How many non-Disney musicals have we done?
I think this would be the second. So I think this is the first, because the week we were supposed to do Dear Evan Hansen. The week before that we did Little Mermaid, because Little Mermaid is the last one I have on my playlist thing on my channel.
Oh, okay.
Why did you want to do another Disney one? No, we were going to do a play. That's right. We were going to do an actual play because we haven't done a play yet.
So what was that Spirit one you've been talking about for a while?
Light Spirit. It is a British one. It takes place in England. Basically, these couple hire a what are they called? A psychic, I guess you could say. And they come and do a seance in their house, and they accidentally summon the ghost of the husband's ex-wife, who wants revenge on him. And the whole show goes to hell after she's released, and she drives him insane. It's actually a very funny play. That, and we should also do a children's hour, or the children's hour, because that one has Audrey Hepburn in it, and I love Audrey Hepburn. But they have a movie.
I haven't watched. It's been years since I watched it, but I saw the actual movie on Amazon Prime.
What, the Children's Hour?
Yes.
Yeah, I own it. So worst cases, I'll give you all my login, and you all can hop on and watch it. But it's a good movie. I love it. I love Audrey Hepburn, and maybe I can talk Kyle into coming in on the show with us, because he loves Audrey Hepburn.
Also, another thing I recently saw on Amazon Prime was apparently they have a Pride and Prejudice the musical.
No, I've watched that. It's cringy. It's so cringy. But we should do Antigone. Let's do Antigone. We need to do Antigone because I have a beautiful copy of Antigone HD with Jodie Whittaker and Christopher Eccleston.
That's Thanksgiving Day, baby.
What is that?
Oh.
Antigone? You don't know what Antigone is?
No.
Did you not go to high school?
Yes, I went to high school.
Well, no, I might have that day.
So Antigone is
that day might not be
Greek
available.
tragedy written by Silvassi. I don't know. His name starts with an S. I can't pronounce it. But it's basically like a Greek Mulan. Antigone, her brother, both her brothers die in war. One of them gets an honorable bury, the other one does not. And Creon, who is king, decrees that it's against the law to bury Antigone's brother. So he's like, screw you, I'm going to bury my brother anyway. And she does. And then the whole play is the outcome of what happens for her breaking the law. So she goes against the law to do what is right. There was so much speculation about this, about like if was Antigone right or was Creon right. But oh my gosh, I did a whole project on Antigone. And so it's basically like Mulan. It reminded me a lot of Mulan, how Mulan went against the law to protect her father. So Antigone did the same thing to give her brother an honorable death. And so the version I have is Antigone, but it's like in a modern place setting in an office, and it has Christopher Eccleston. If you guys don't know who that is, he played the Stephanie's gonna kill me if I get this wrong.
Ninth.
Yeah, thank you. Ninth Doctor, that's what I thought. He played the Ninth Doctor in Doctor Who, and Jodie Whittaker played the 13th Doctor in Doctor Who. So it's got two doctors. Also, it has a guy from Harry Potter. I don't remember his name. I know he was in Harry Potter. He the guy who Ginny dated in Half-Blood Prince.
Oh.
I think his name's Dean Thomas. Is it Dean? No, is it Dean Thomas?
Yeah, Dean Thomas.
Yeah, the guy who played Dean Thomas in Harry Potter is in it, and it's honestly a really good production of it. I love it. And so I have it downloaded on my computer. So if y'all can we do Antigone in 2 weeks?
Hey, I'm down with it.
Mike?
As long as you give me the logins, that way I can watch it.
Yay! Okay, y'all. So it's decided. We are doing Antigone, my favorite Greek tragedy. It is my absolute favorite Greek tragedy. It's probably the one that I have read multiple times. And so yeah, I will send you guys that.
Because I was just saying, like, you're like, oh, didn't you go to high school? I'm like, thinking in my head, when would I ever even hear about this?
We studied it in my high school. We studied Antigone in my high school, so I guess I just assumed. But whatever. But yeah, no, I'm surprised because it's a very well-known Greek tragedy. But yeah, so it's so on. When is that going to be? And I am checking our calendar. So that is going to be September 23rd. We'll be back here on September 23rd. Throughout next week, I'll post about it. I'll post a quick video on my channel saying, hey guys, I'm dropping in to tell y'all, don't forget my stream and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so next up is Antigone. And then after that, by rule standards, we will be doing another Disney show. Not sure which one yet. But yeah, so I guess that's it for now.
Whenever we do Beauty and the Beast, I have to be a part of it. I love Beauty and the Beast. I have to be a part of it.
I'll put that in the notes. But yeah, so I guess that's it for tonight. Sorry, this one was a little short. There's not really much to talk about. You'd be amazed on how hard it is to find anything technical about this show. I researched for hours and I barely found anything. I guess they want to keep it hush hush to keep the look of it. Kind of like with Disney, keep the magic, I guess you can call it. But yeah, so thanks for joining us, and a special shout out to Lena for her birthday, and for subscribing to my channel. And so, yeah, even though Mike was absent for the majority, I just like picking on Mike. But yeah, so
Hey.
I don't like picking on Mike.
we'll see you guys. Yep. We'll see you guys back here on September 23rd for Antigone, which y'all better watch. And Mike, let's just hope Mike's more vocal in Antigone than he was tonight. But yeah, so thank y'all so much for stopping by and watching with us. Again, happy birthday, Lena. I hope you enjoy the rest of your special day. And I guess we'll see you guys. Where's my mouse? I don't even know where my mouse is. There it is. Okay. We will see you guys on September 23rd for Antigone. Bye.
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 Bye.